Did you know 93% of men own at least one pair of jeans? And if you're in that 93%, you're about to learn everything you need to know. Because with the right styling, jeans aren't just casual, they're iconic. From the best shoes to pair with your denim to layering like a pro, this is your ultimate guide to jean styling. Let's start off with how to style your jeans with boots. So I'm going to assume that most of the jeans we're talking about here are dark denim. Now, of course, you got tons of options. You could go with black denim. You could go with a red denim. You could go with a gray denim, which is actually underused and can look really good. Point being, you got tons of options when it comes to colors. I'm going to go with the most classic, just that classic dark denim that I think every man should have in his wardrobe. And for Chelsea, so you could go with black. There's a wide variety of different Chelsea boots out there, but the type and the style of jeans I'm going to look at are going to be either a slim or a tapered cut. You could also go with a straight cut. What you want to avoid, though, is going to be a loose, baggy cut or even a boot cut. Yes, these are boots, but most boot cuts are made for Western boots or boots that are going to have a larger, thicker shaft at the top. Chelsea boots fit a little bit closer, and depending on the style of the Chelsea boot, it could be a dress Chelsea boot. Now, this one, because of the sole, I know is going to be a little bit more casual, so possibly I could get away with a pair of boot cut jeans. But again, you want to try them on. In general, though, straight cut I think is going to work for the majority of men trying to look good in a pair of Chelseas, or you could go for a tapered cut if it's a little bit more of an elegant Chelsea. Next up, we've got the Chukka. Very similar to the Chelsea in design, but notice we've got the lacing and it is going to be more casual. Now, the jean styles, they're going to work with Chukka very similar to the Chelsea. You can go with that slim tapered cut, but again, it's going to be the straight cut. You want to have a little bit more of an opening at the bottom. That being said, most boot cuts are probably going to be too wide, especially if it's a modern boot cut. It's coming in this looser clothing that we're seeing is trending right now. If you go with a classic boot cut, one that maybe came out about 5 to 10 years ago, again, you can go and measure the openings. You can try this up, and that's what I recommend. Most of these brands selling jeans, they've got their own models that they use and their measurements. One could have a boot cut with an opening of 14 inches at the bottom, almost bell bottoms, 15 inches. Other ones are going to have more like 12 to 13 inches, which could work for a pair of Chukkas like this. So now let's talk about boots that actually work with the boot cut. Both of these right here are going to be heavier, are going to be more casual, and because of the length of the shaft, not necessarily the thickness, both of these right here would work fine with a boot cut. Maybe not too wide because it could start to envelop the whole boots, but in general, because of the size, because of the clunkiness, the build of these boots right here, they're not going to be dwarfed by that opening at the bottom. You could also wear straight, and I think straight jeans for the majority of boots is pretty much the perfect one to go with. I would be careful about going with a tapered fit. Definitely you don't want to go skinny unless maybe you're going for that clunky foot. Yeah, if you're a fashionista, then what are you doing watching my videos? Should be teaching this stuff. No, not for me, not my style, but I think this right here, either one of these, you could wear a boot cut and be fine. And as many of you guys could probably guess, a boot cut is going to work perfect for Western boots. And this is originally what the boot cut was designed for. So in brands like Wrangler and other Western styles, we see a lot of boot cuts because cowboys need to be able to put their boots on and be able to cover the shaft. Now you're going to see some people out there wearing the jeans in the shaft. I'm not going to recommend for the majority of men. Now, if you got a pair of handmade boots and you really want to show off the handwork, then I guess go for it. Now, that last style was a Western boot. This is a roper. You're going to notice the ropers have a shorter shaft and usually not as wide of a shaft, not as pronounced. And this is going to be, again, perfect for the boot cut. The straight cut is going to work great. Slim or skinny jeans, yeah, you want to avoid. Now, what about baggy jeans? For most men, I'm not going to recommend that style. I know it's coming back. If I were to have to choose a pair of boots to go with, it would be something that's heavier, a little bit more clunky. You could go with a hiking boot, kind of an explorer boot. You could also look at moccasin style boots. I love them because they're incredibly comfortable, but that larger toe box with the overall, features, the contrast in, the design and everything right here, makes the boots look a little bit bigger than they actually are. So if you wanted to go for something that would balance out that looser fit, then these would probably be it. If you go with a relaxed cut, which is fine, especially for a lot of guys that just like a looser jean, and a relaxed cut is not the same as baggy, and it's usually going to have a little bit larger of an opening, so a relaxed cut jean would work with either one of these. Straight cut, as always, will work with these right here. Boot cut would work as well. Skinny or, tapered jeans, you'd want to be careful. You could possibly pull it off with the right style of taper, or if you went one size larger. Next up, we've got the dress boot. As the name implies, this is going to be one of the dressier styles of boots out there. This pair right here, it has a bit of a brogue design. A brogue, as many of you guys know, holes cut into the leather. This comes out of, I believe it was the UK, maybe it was Scotland or one of those northern areas that's always starting fights up there. there. They said, hey, we're going to walk through these marshes and we want the water to be able to leave our shoes. So that's where the brogues originated from. These are not going to go all the way through. It's more of a decorative design, but it is considered something really nice. It makes it a little bit more difficult to clean. In either case, we've got one in suede. We've got one more in a polished leather right here. Either one of these straight jeans, of course, would work, but maybe you could find a pair of tapered. You don't want to go for a tight tapered. You want to go for something that fits maybe a little bit looser. Again, go with that dark colored denim, black denim right here, mixed in with that brown. And if anyone thinks that brown doesn't go with black, just look at the soles right there. Look at how they're black. So you can clearly see that black does go with brown. I think it's a really smart combination, especially when you want to dress it up, maybe with a sports jacket or maybe a really nice sweater during the winter. Skinny, I would avoid that type of jeans. And you could go maybe with a relaxed fit on these. Boot cuts, I think, would be too much for the beautiful, I think, more delicate nature of these boots. But yeah, you could go with a pair of relaxed jeans. Definitely not, don't go with baggy. Now, what about the humble work boot? So first up, don't be confused by the name. A work boot maybe 40, 50 years ago was primarily used for work. Nowadays, we see where you can dress them up, you can dress them down. You can wear them, of course, to work, but you can also wear them every single day as you're just exploring New York City. That's what I like about this style, is it's incredibly versatile and it works with a wide variety of jeans. I mean, this pair right here, I could wear with a pair of slim cuts. I could wear it with a straight cut, a loose fit jean. Heck, I'd even stretch it and say you could try to wear this with baggy jeans. I probably wouldn't be able to pull it off, but who knows, maybe you could. I think the key here is finding the right style, because this one right here, a little bit more elegant, a little bit, sharper looking, a little bit more delicate looking, if you want to use that word. This one right here, just heavier, clunkier. Why? Look at the sole. So if you wanted, a pair of boots like this and you want to wear them with a bigger jean that has more, excess fabric on it, then look for a larger sole. So next up, let's talk about sneakers. The problem with this is that many of the sneakers, they actually fit in multiple categories, but I'm going to try to break this up so you can easily understand. Canvas sneakers. This is where sneakers really got their start. In the 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, we saw the rubber sole with a canvas upper. In fact, if you go back even farther, we did see variations, but really that's when it became mass manufactured. Now, there's a couple of things I love about canvas sneakers. In general, they're going to be more lightweight, they're going to be more breathable than any type of leather or dress sneaker out there. They're also usually going to be more affordable. All that being said, believe it or not, leather sneakers actually have a longer history. Now, they didn't pick up as much because leather has always been a luxury material, with more expensive to manufacture, and sneakers, they experimented with different materials. Initially, the first pair of sneakers were made from leather. Now, leather historically has great properties that made it attractive for footwear. One of the big ones is durability. Basically, you can bend leather tens of thousands of times, and assuming it hasn't been exposed to moisture or any damaging materials, it's going to always come back to its original form. And besides being durable, it's also naturally resistant to abrasion and other types of damage, whether it be the elements or it be, chemicals or anything else that is going to be there on the ground. Leather also cleans up really well. It can take a shine, it can take dyes, so you can get a bit of a sheen on it, which is going to give it a dressier type of look. Now, if you're looking to level up your style, you really need to check out my free community over on School. I've set this community up so we've got free classes that you can make your way through step by step and learn the basic foundations of men's style. And I have to say, the men that are in this group are friggin' awesome. We've got a no a-hole policy. People treat each other with respect. And what we've managed to create in this community is a place where a man can come in and ask questions and get some solid advice. So gents, use the link in the description of today's video. Go check out our free communities on School. These are for you to become the man you know yourself to be. Now, the next category is going to be sports sneakers. And yes, I know there are canvas and leather sports sneakers, but in general, this category of sneaker includes shoes that are made for a specific purpose. This is going to include basketball shoes. This is going to be running shoes, weightlifting shoes, tennis shoes, sprinting shoes. Any shoe that is made for a particular sport is going to fall into this category. Now, I'll be straight up, gents. Of course, you can wear a sports shoe with jeans. You can do, again, whatever you want. But in general, for a lot of people, especially when it comes to running shoes, this looks like you're not even trying. Now, basketball shoes, especially those that are going to be on popular athletes, they actually have a very interesting history in how they mix in with fashion. Be careful, again, when you're mixing a sports shoe with jeans, sometimes it just looks like you don't even know what you're doing. You're not trying. Now, this next category is perhaps the youngest, and that is the dress sneaker. And I know a lot of people out there, especially traditionalists, they're thinking that can't even exist. That's an oxymoron. The word sneaker mixed in with dress clothing. It's like oil and water, they can't mix. Well, they sort of do, because that's the thing that happens with style over time, with fashion, is that we start to see things emerge. And what we notice is that men want to be comfortable. And a lot of them are getting away from dress shoes. They're going into these sneakers, and it's not just, the leather upper, and they're going with these non-traditional designs. Some of these leather sneakers, they actually almost look like dress shoes. That being said, if you're dressing for a black tie, you're going to want to keep it traditional. But if you're wearing a suit and you've got foot problems and you find some of these dress sneakers, hey, they just work, I feel comfortable, again, you're confident in that look, then go for it. I do think there are other options, but I know why a lot of guys go for this. Now, are dress sneakers always going to dress up the jeans? Are they going to dress up the outfit? Well, I think if you're going for a jean and sneaker combination that you can wear with a sports jacket, I do think that, yeah, I would be looking at dress sneakers, but don't think that dress sneakers are ever going to be at the level of dress shoes, at least probably not for the next 30 or 40 years. Now, what about retro sneakers? So this is where they take a design that was popular in the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s, maybe just in the thousands, and they bring it back. These are going to be more into the fashion space, and I actually do like this. I like seeing something that was a classic design not slip away, not disappear. An example of this is going to be Air Jordans. You're going to see the Air Jordan 1s being very popular, but also the Air Jordan 3s, the Air Jordan 6s, and the Air Jordan 4s. Now, fashion sneakers are going to be designed specifically for trends. They're not going to make sense functionally all the time. They are going to be probably a little bit louder. Sometimes some people would say obnoxious, but if you are a hype beast, you're into fashion, you want to show that you're on to the latest trends, more power to you. And what are you doing watching this video? But in this case, if you're going to get into this, you kind of need to know what's moving, what's popular. Many of you guys have seen Adidas got into this game and got burned, and a few other, it's a very interesting space. And of course, I couldn't leave out the category of dad sneakers. Dad sneakers are all about comfort and wearing them with the right type of socks all the way up. But seriously, you get the right pair of dad sneakers, you are not going back. I actually don't normally wear dad sneakers. I like boots a bit more. But when it comes down to it, guys, strangely enough, dad sneakers are making a huge fashion wave right now. Now, really quick, I do want to mention lacing systems. So traditional lacing is going to be where the majority of you guys are going to want to buy shoes that have this. If you're buying a pair of shoes and they've got Velcro, that's fine. I get it. Some of you guys maybe have arthritis. You want something simple, but understand that's probably going to be best on a sports or performance shoe. The same thing with quick lace systems. I think that they work, they look good, but we're going to be more for shoes that are going to be more functional in nature, sports shoes. Now, I have seen a lot of these slip-on variant sneakers coming about. I think it's really interesting, again, from a convenience standpoint. As a guy that travels, I like slip-ons. One of the reasons I don't wear sneakers normally when I'm traveling is I don't want to deal with the lacing, so I see that as being attractive. However, you want to make sure they're not too casual looking, which right now the majority of them are. Now, I mentioned color. So the basic rule here is that neutral colors, we're talking grays, whites, blacks, and beiges. These compare with pretty much any type of jean. Yes, some are going to have a higher contrast, they're going to have a lower contrast depending on the type of jean, but understand that if you get sneakers, especially solids, in any of these colors, or even with a bit of contrast in the sole, they're going to be relatively easy to match and you're going to be safe. But gents, what about those stylish loafers? And a loafer, by definition, is going to be a type of dress shoe that does not have lacing on it. Now, the most famous style of loafer we're going to see out there that's been around almost 100 years is going to be the penny loafer. Seriously, it was designed in the 1930s, and this loafer in the 1950s and 60s became a classic menswear piece that just dominated. It was casual. It was easy for men to be able to dress up, dress down. It was just a favorite of young college students who continued to wear it into their 40s, 50s, and now 60s. Which actually, if I think about it, I'm sure there are guys in their 90s still wearing penny loafers. The point here is the Lindy effect, and that is the longer something has been around, the longer it is going to be around. So the fact that penny loafers have been around for 100 years, you can pretty much rest assured that they're going to be around for another 100. So this means that if you're going to be picking up a pair of loafers, there's nothing wrong with actually buying and splurging for a pair of quality loafers. Now, when I look at the design of a pair of penny loafers, it's the simplicity that grabs me. The fact that when you look at this, there's nothing flashy on it. In fact, you go with a solid color. If you're going to be adding this pair of shoes to your wardrobe, look at the shoes that you already wear. If you've got all black dress shoes, then stick with black penny loafers. If you stick with browns, dark browns, medium browns, then go ahead and bring in a similar color. What you're really doing is you're changing out the style, and you want something that's already going to mix and match with the existing clothing in your wardrobe so that you can wear it with more than just jeans. Now, speaking of color, it's important to note that black is going to be the most formal of all dress shoe colors. So if you do really want to go with loafers that are going to work well with the widest number of jeans, you probably want to go with a lighter colored loafer. in general. I've seen guys be able to pull off black loafers with denim. Highly recommend, if you don't own any loafers, this is the one you need to start with. It is so easy to bring into a wardrobe, especially if you want with a color like oxblood or dark brown, is that you could wear them with a casual suit. You could pull these off with jeans in the same day, and they're just going to work for you. Next up, let's talk about tassel loafers. And these are very recognizable by that tassel right there on the vamp. Now, these emerged right after World War II out of Europe. They made their way over the United States. These have always been considered to be some of the dressier loafers out there. And we're going to see this with the finish on the shoes. In general, they're not going to be made in very light colors, so we're going to see these darker. These are going to be some of the hardest shoes to wear with denim. It can be done. Dark denim, go with maybe a medium brown tassel loafer. But in general, I would not recommend these as your first loafer. And if you really want something to wear with denim, these are probably one of the loafers that in general to avoid. That being said, I still own a pair and I can wear them with casual suits, but with denim, it's hard. Maybe with denim and a sports jacket, you could pull it off. But yeah, it is a push. It's a little bit of a stretch. Next up, we've got the bit loafer, also known as the horse bit. This emerged in, I believe, 1953. Gucci is the company that made this popular. Initially, it was just something worn over in Italy, made its way out of Europe, and soon in the 1980s especially became a style fashion trend that everyone was jumping on. And now to this day, it is a classic loafer, now made by a wide variety of different manufacturers. It's nice, simple loafer. I've got a pair of Gucci's, and what I love about these is that, yes, you can wear them with denim. The bit across just makes them casual, makes them fun, and they come in a wide variety of colors. I will say, though, the big negative with these is that you've got to have a little bit of confidence to be able to pull this off, because you've got this shiny thing right there that really serves no functional purpose on the top vamp part of your shoes. Hey, I know what I'm wearing. I enjoy it. I like the look. Not for everybody. Again, that's why I'm recommending penny loafers for the majority of men if you're just starting off wearing loafers, especially wearing them with jeans. Next up, we've got moccasins. And moccasins come in a wide variety of styles. They have since kind of been hijacked by the dress shoe world, and they're technically not a dress shoe, as you can imagine. Anyone that's familiar with Native American history knows that the moccasins come out of North America's native population, although there's some argument that different cultures in different parts of the world made similar shoes. Now, what's interesting, in a classic moccasin, you actually don't really have a sole. You just got a leather covering on the bottom. They would wear out quickly and they would be resoled, rebuilt, the top actually lasting a lot longer. But in modern moccasins, we do see a sole. We do see a structure there on the base so that they'll last longer, be able to give the wearer a bit of grip. And we see them in a variety made by a wide range of different manufacturers. But the key with moccasins is going to be the overall structure, with the stitching going right around the top outside. And with their non-traditional background not coming out of dress shoes, these are going to be one of the most casual slip-ons you can grab out there. You're also going to see driving shoes fit into this category as well. Driving shoes, though, instead of having the leather just at the bottom, they're actually going to have just bits of usually rubber. These aren't shoes actually you'd want to be wearing out. I know I've actually done this and I realize I'm wearing into the shoe. They're actually truly made to be worn when you're out driving, and they should give the driver a little bit more feel of the controls and the pedals, at the same time be able to give him good grip. All that being said, these are very casual slip-ons. So these are perfect for denim. If you're looking for, hey, a slip-on, a loafer that is actually 100% pretty much made for denim, it's going to be the moccasin. You could also argue it's made for shorts, but really this is, to even wear these with a suit, these would have to be really dressed up moccasins. You don't see them very often, and even in that case, I really wouldn't wear them with a casual suit. So of all the slip-ons we're talking about today, the moccasins are going to be the most casual, probably the best ones to pair solely with denim. Next up, we've got Belgian loafers, not to be confused with tassel loafers, because Belgian loafers are going to be much more casual. And we see this in the materials they're often made from. So when we look at loafers that are made from suede, a variety of different materials, it's going to be Belgian loafers right there at the top. So what's great about these is that they're pretty versatile. They're going to be a little bit flashier than a lot of the other loafers we talked about. But if you want something, again, that you could wear with a casual suit, something that you could wear with jeans and really stand out, I've seen like green suede, blue suede, really interesting. You know, if you like style, Belgian loafers are such a great option. They're very functional, and you get a good quality pair incredibly comfortable. Next up, let's talk about kilted loafers, also known as kilties. These apparently have been popular with golfers and people over in Scotland for over 100 years. Kings have worn this particular style, so you know this stuff is good. But basically, they just got this apron right on the front that gives it a little bit of a kilted look, and hence why it gets its name. But again, these have been around since, made popular since the 1950s, mass manufactured. But even before then, these things were popping up. And just, again, if you're going to be out playing golf, you want a classic shoe, or you just simply like the look, and they're casual. So again, these are perfect for wearing with denim. Next up, let's talk about slipper loafers. Don't confuse these with slippers, which are a whole other type of shoe, which I think are fine. More men should have slippers, but slipper loafers, these are actually going to be incredibly formal. Yes, you can wear this stuff with black tie. With white tie, you are required to wear a type of slipper or a particular type of shoe. Basically, they call these opera pumps. Yes, men wearing pumps. But the idea here is that these are made from velvet. They're made from very high quality materials, only worn to special occasions, made to be worn with delicate clothing that a gentleman would wear to the show, to meet the king, those kind of events. Yeah, we're going to see them oftentimes with initials. If they do have an initial, that is going to make it much more casual. But as you can imagine, it's safe to say that these are probably not ones you want to wear with denim. It can be done. Again, if you are a fashionista and what are you doing watching these videos? You can pull this off, but I think for the majority of us mere mortals, we should probably skip this look. And finally, let's talk about dress shoes. On paper, it may not look like a good combination, but if put together skillfully, dress shoes and jeans can look amazing. Now, when we use the word dress shoes, dress footwear, we can be referring to a wide range of different types of shoes that can be worn with suits or that can be worn with casual wear. So let's start this off with black Oxfords. These are going to be a closed lacing system shoe in black, and these right here should be reserved for suits. They can be worn with black tie. They really should not be worn with jeans. Although some guys think they can pull it off, in my opinion, it's never done correctly because these shoes are just too formal. Now you may be saying, well, what about black Balmoral Oxfords that have a cap toe, maybe have a little bit of broguing? Again, the black, the formality of the color. I think black dress shoes in general lend themselves to not being easily matched with jeans. And remember, there are multiple things that make a shoe formal. It's not only the color. You may think, oh, these shoes are brown, I'm safe here. Not exactly. Let's look at the style right here. We have a hole cut, one of the more formal styles of shoe. So the style right here, along with it being a dark brown, really to me, it lends that this shoe is more towards formal wear, not towards casual wear with jeans. And again, we have another example of a shoe whose color makes it seem like it could be worn with jeans, but whose style says another thing. This again is going to be an Oxford with the closed lacing system. This right here is just going to be a more formal. It would work well with a casual suit, but I would be careful wearing this with jeans. And now let's talk about dress shoes I think would look great with denim. So starting off, we've got brogues. You know these are brogues because I can see the perforations here in the leather. And it does make the shoe much more casual. And that's what we're looking for, a more casual dress shoe. Now, the darkness here in the color, it is something that's going to lend itself to be more formal, but it is still a dark brown. It's not a black. And so this right here, I think if worn with the right dark colored denim, this could be worn with jeans. Another dress shoe style that's going to work really well with jeans are bluchers. Bluchers are open lacing system shoes. They're going to be more casual dress shoes. What are open lacing systems? Okay, so the back part of the shoe, the quarter, basically is thrown onto the front part of the shoe, the vamp. And I can see it right here in the design. So when you're looking at dress shoes, understand that whenever it's an open lacing system like this, it's going to be a more informal dress shoe. These right here, not only because of the design, but also the color, all of this, the cap toe, this makes it a more casual shoe, and it's just a great combination, in my opinion, for jeans. Now, what about monk straps? You bet. These can be worn with jeans, a wide different variety. You see right here, we've got a contrasting leather. This does make the shoe more casual, and overall the style with the cap toe, contrasting leather, the double monk strap. You're also going to see single monk strap. Either one can be worn with jeans. Now, what if these were in black? Then I would be hesitant. I do think that you can pull it off, especially maybe with black denim, gray denim, but in general, I would lean towards something that has a little bit more color in it. Now, what about the rule on matching your belt with your shoes? Does it still apply when you're wearing jeans and dress shoes? Actually, gents, it's a trick question because guess what? This combination would work if you go into a 4th of July picnic wearing lightweight jeans, maybe a lightweight white shirt. Guess what? This combination right here is going to be festive. It's going to work. You don't have to exactly match your belt. This is even close to matching the belt. It's more about complementing the whole outfit. Seriously, the whole matching the belt with the shoes is a foundation rule. This is one when you understand the principle, which is you want things to work together, that you understand, okay, this isn't an exact match, but I do see reflections. I see darker variations right here in the finishing of these boots that's going to make it just go really well with this belt. Let's move on to upperwear and kick things off with polo shirts. And fit matters in this combination more than in a lot of other areas, because when you're wearing jackets, you're wearing layered clothing, you can cover up maybe some fit issues, especially clothing on the lower levels of the layering. But when you're just wearing the polo with jeans, it's something that for a lot of us, we really like to make sure we get a great fit on our jeans. We've got particular brands that we go for. You got to do the same thing with your polo. You've got to make sure that this fits your body. And it's not going to work for every body type. Some body types, they just simply look better with a jacket on top. Yeah, if you've got a little bit of weight around the midsection, you've got the shape of a pear. In that case, you're going to want to build up the shoulders. You're going to want to layer with a polo, not necessarily wear a polo with jean combination, because that's not going to complement your build. That being said, if you're short and stout, if you are tall and skinny, you can still pull off this combination, but you've got to get the right fit. First up, again, you've got to make sure those jeans fit you well, hem them if necessary. You don't want them too long there, but make sure that polo fits you well. You don't want it looking too tight in the midsection like you're a stuffed sausage. You also don't want it too loose in the shoulders where it looks like it's going down your arms. So am I recommended you get the polo and possibly jeans adjusted by the tailor? You bet I am. In fact, know the name of your tailor. It takes an average look and can make it amazing. Especially, again, you maybe don't have the largest arms, then get the sleeves adjusted so that that polo fits a little bit closer there. The next rule with this combination is don't try to overdo it. Again, sometimes you're going to find polos out there that are using a loud color or drawing attention themselves. If you're going to wear that polo, understand everything else in the outfit should be muted, especially the denim. That being said, if you're wearing a colored denim or you're wearing distressed denim, you're really going to try to pull this look off, then this is when you need to keep the polo muted in a simple, clean color. And speaking of colors, I want to go a little bit deeper here and talk about monochromatic looks versus complementary color combinations. So with a monochromatic look, that's when your top and bottom are relatively the same color. What's nice about this is it allows the eyes to go up and down. I usually try to go for this look, I know, with wearing a navy polo with dark indigo denim. For me, as a father of 5 that just simply wants a practical go-to daily uniform outfit, I find that this combination just works. But I get it, this can be boring. So again, if you're going to bring in a brighter color up in the polo, then try to keep the trousers, try to keep those jeans relatively neutral. That being said, you don't have to keep everything in that indigo color. You can definitely bring in a variety of grays. You can bring in a black. I've seen so many different colors of jeans that can work with actually even colored polos, assuming again, it's a more neutral top. Maybe you're having a little bit of brighter color, a little bit more of color with the jeans, or maybe you're bringing together pastels. Even lighter color combinations in tans and browns can work. Perhaps the biggest tip I can give you here is go out there and look for inspiration. Look at color combinations you like, go through magazines, go through Pinterest, go over on Instagram, save those onto your desktop, nothing wrong with that, and try to repeat those same combinations. And even if the styles don't exactly match up, it was more of a t-shirt and jean combination, but you just love that color combination, go ahead and try it, experiment in the polo and see what you can do. Now, what about the rules on tucking versus untucking? Now, if you're going to be wearing dress slacks with a polo, with a casual suit, I can see tucking it in, even if it is a straight hem, if it's long enough. But in general, straight hem shirts, like polos, are not meant to be tucked in. So with jeans, a more casual combination, I would say in the majority of situations, it's okay to leave the polo shirt untucked. That being said, it needs to be the right length. So how to know if your shirt's the right length? Okay, so once you have it on, raise your arms up. If you expose any of your midsection, that polo shirt is a little bit too short. But after raising your arms, if you still have 2 inches of material that's covering your trousers, that polo shirt is probably too long. The perfect length of a shirt is when you raise your arms up and it's just at the top of the trousers, maybe a ½ inch to an inch beyond. That being said, if you've got a favorite polo shirt and it's too long, you actually can get this adjusted by a seamstress or a tailor for a nominal amount. In fact, you could do it yourself if you look up a tutorial. Let's now talk about choosing the right dress shirt for your denim. In the same way that denim, we tried to dress it up for the dress shirt, with the dress shirt, we're actually going to try to dress it down. Go for the more casual options. That means, any type of dress shirt that's made for black tie, that's going to have, that wingtip type of collar, is going to have pleats in the front, is going to use studs. You would never want to wear this type of dress shirt with denim. Now, I know the terminology can be confusing. Dress shirts versus button-ups versus button-downs. Let me try to quickly explain the difference. And I'll get back to calling everything a dress shirt. So dress shirts are made to be layered. They're made to be an underpiece, a jacket thrown on top. A button down specifically refers to the collar, and a button up is going to be any type of shirt that has buttons in the front area. And these are even shirts made from casual materials that are made in darker colors. They're made to be outerwear in this case. And that's where the confusion lies, is that these shirts, they seem very similar. They all have similar collars, turn down collars, and you're going to sometimes see even dress shirts that have button down collars. But to understand, when this terminology is thrown around in general, button down and button up shirts are going to be on the casual side, and dress shirts are going to be more on the formal side. So getting back to that formal side, what we're looking to do is, in general, if you want to wear a shirt that looks really great with denim, you're oftentimes going to lean towards the button up shirt. Button downs, such as Oxford. Oxfords are an excellent option to wear with denim because they are more casual. Dress shirts are often going to be made from a poplin weave. Very light, they're going to be lighter, they're going to be very tight weaves. You're also going to see dress shirts in a variety. This shirt I'm wearing right here is a dress shirt. It has the stripes going up and down. You will see occasionally checks, but usually those are going to be on more button-up shirts and button-down shirts that are more casual. You're also going to see occasionally shirts out there that have floral patterns, maybe even have dots. Again, those are going to be more casual, not really a dress shirt. Dress shirts, per definition, usually the color would be pure white. Now, light blue, a lot of us will see that as a dress shirt, but it's technically going to be a dressed up, a very formal type of button-up shirt. Now, another thing we're going to see with all of our dress shirts is that they are going to be long sleeved. Anything that is short sleeve is technically not a dress shirt. And again, you're going to see polos, you're going to see short sleeve button-up shirts, but those are casual and they are technically not dress shirts. Dress shirts always have a cuff, which, it used to be that the cuffs were removable, the same with the collars, but these collars now are pretty much permanently attached, but they are made separate, and that is a key distinction of a dress shirt and even a button-down. So if you look at the fabric right here, notice how the patterns are going straight there and then they're going across here. Clearly, this cuff has been made separate. Now, we talked briefly about collars, but the dressier collar is definitely be the point collar. After that, you're going to see the spread collar. And if you understand the way a collar is designed, it's really simply the angle has been opened up on a spread collar. I like spread collars, and I do think they're more casual simply because it keeps the collar out of the way. That being said, you also are going to see a button down. Button down collars are going to be more casual, made popular because of the sport of polo, and you saw them on the polo fields. We also see these in Oxford shirts and a variety of casual shirts, but button-down collars are going to be one of the more casual collar styles we see out there. Now, when it comes to colors and patterns, the most formal is going to be a solid white. The most informal, perhaps it's going to be, something like this that has a very strong floral, brighter, heavier colors like this, darker. All that is going to be on the casual side. But going back over to the formal side, after that, maybe a light blue. We'll see whites with a stripe similar to what I'm wearing here is going to be dressier, more formal. And then as we move down, we start to see the colors come in. Now, understand if you go for anything that is a dark color, technically it is not a dress shirt. This is made to be worn as a casual button-up shirt or a button-down. And over on that side, I think that this all works great with denim people. Again, call them dress shirts. You go into a store, you'll maybe buy something online, they'll call it a dress shirt. But if it is of a dark color, this is technically not a dress shirt. That being said, it's something I think looks great with denim in many situations, especially, if you've got the classic just dress shirt overall fit and design, and it looks good on you. You can even wear this with a sports jacket, and again, it functions like a dress shirt, but that darker color or going with, a small muted pattern, especially maybe a small repeating pattern, the fabric is going to make it a bit more casual, and the overall design, though, is going to give the feeling of a dress shirt, something that can actually be worn and layered. It's cold outside. So let's talk about sweaters. Now the pullover sweaters, we're going to see this, the crew neck, the V-neck, and maybe sometime the notch neck. These are going to be ones that you want to layer, ones that you want to wear with other pieces, but you don't have to. These are going to be some of the more classic styles out there, and here is where you really want to make sure you nail the fit. Because they're made for layering, these are oftentimes going to be made from those lightweight materials. They're usually going to be dressier, especially the V-necks made to be worn with a collared shirt. You're also going to see the crew necks worn with a collared shirt, but these are going to be in solid colors made from a lightweight weave. And again, in general, these are going to be some of the dressiest sweaters you're going to see out there. Now that doesn't mean that you can't have a dressy sweater that has a lot going on in the front, such as a classic cardigan, or maybe even a sweater jacket. Sweater jackets, yes, can be worn in lieu of a sports jacket. They're not going to be as formal as a sports jacket, just a notch down below formality, but I think that they're a really nice look. Now the turtleneck sweater can be really close in terms of formality. I think that you can pull this off with a casual suit, definitely a sports jacket, but if it's going to be a heavier, bulkier weave, then probably not something that you want to layer. You would more want to wear it by itself. And in fact, if we look at the history of the turtleneck, submariners, military would pull this stuff off. It really is a very functional piece. Again, the determining factor of the level of formality has a lot to do with the weave, with the thickness, and with the color and patterns present. Now with the half zip, the quarter zip, those are going to be more casual. They're still pullovers, but because of the zipper especially is going to be more casual. I know it seems almost counterintuitive. You would think those large buttons would be more casual than a zipper, but they're not. In general, those buttons are going to have more of a history and a heritage to them. So you will see if you had to choose one, you want something that's a little bit dressier, definitely go with a sweater with the quarter buttons. Now, what about the sweater vest? Is it actually a sweater? The answer is yes, it is. It is something a little bit tricky. I think it really looks best on a man that is in good shape, whose chest is larger than his waist area, but it is going to draw attention to the waist, especially if you're wearing it with a contrasting underpiece. But yeah, the sweater vest, you can still pull it off, in the right situation. Now with those heavier set sweaters, there's a wide variety of different types. You're going to see Aran sweaters out there. These have a classic heritage over with Ireland. You're going to see the Fair Isle sweaters. They've got classic patterns, classic colors, just really nice combinations, but these are going to be made with a heavier virgin wool that's very thick, and they are made in general to be worn almost as outerwear. And that takes us to sweater patterns, sweater colors. So stripes going across. You want to be careful here. Again, I talked about bigger guys. You want to avoid this. It's just going to basically, any type of horizontal line is going to draw the eyes back and forth, and that's not what we're looking for. We want the eyes to go up and down. So in general, go for solids. That being said, if you're a heavier set guy, one of those thicker weaves I think can look really good on you. It's going to help to kind of camouflage, bring it all together. They're also going to be looser in general, which is going to work for your body build. So a heavier weight turtleneck in general is going to look better than a tighter weave turtleneck. That being said, depending on where you carry your weight and where you're at, and again, how you wear this combination, I think a well-fitted turtleneck on a bigger guy who's wearing a sports jacket over that, that is a solid combination, even with jeans. Now, what about argyle as a pattern? Again, this is usually going to draw attention to the chest area of the sweater, and you've got these diamonds that are interacting. It's a classic pattern, and if you like it, go for it. I do think it's a little bit more of a refined older man's type of pattern, but if maybe you've got some family heritage, maybe you just like the style. Again, look at the combination you're putting with. I think even when you're layering this with all different types of jackets, if you feel it brings in a bit of color, then go for it. All right, so now some FAQs. Do you ever tuck your sweater into your jeans? And the answer right there is a definitive no. Now, what if the sweater's long? What if it's, going a few inches past your waist area? Well, I find that it's better just to tuck it in and fold it up. At the bottom of most sweaters, you should have a bit of elastic, so it's going to be a very easy, turn and tuck. Next up, you may be asking, okay, I understand I can wear jeans with a sweater, but should I? Does the dress code allow this? Well, again, it depends on the dress code. Anytime that you are, need to dress up with a suit, jeans with a sports jacket and sweater is not a suit combination. A suit is a jacket and trousers made from the same material. But could you wear a sweater with a suit? Yes, you can, especially functional wise if you needed to layer to be able to keep warm. Again, you want to keep it to a lightweight weave that isn't going to draw a whole lot of attention. If you want it more formal, if you're going to be going more casual, you can bring in a wide variety of patterns and colors. I think the jean and sweater combination is now a modern classic. Maybe 40 years ago it wasn't, and that's why you'll still see in some text and some books out there people saying, that combination you want to avoid. But I think that it's one of my go-to looks. I live in a cold area and I like to dress somewhat casual in and around my area because nobody wears suits, nobody wears sports jackets. But for me, sweaters are a nice step up from a hoodie. And that leads to the next question: why would I wear a sweater with jeans over a hoodie and jeans? Well, straight up, it's a step up. It is a more dressier look, I think a more elegant look. I'm not saying nothing against the hoodie, but I think that sweaters and jumpers, for you guys over in the UK, they are really underutilized by a lot of guys, especially if you understand the different materials they're made from, how you can go with a wide variety of styles. Most guys don't even own a turtleneck. They're not, try a mock turtleneck if you don't want to go full on turtleneck. I think it's just a great look, especially with that jean combination, dark denim that fits you well. If you're in decent shape, easily wearing a sweater. I've got this one turtleneck that is a heavier weight, dark blue, classic Submariner sweater. And I love wearing it with dark denim and boots. Really a good combination. Next up, you may be wondering, is there anything special I need to do for the jeans? Do I need to iron them? Do I need to press them? Can I only wear dark denim with a sweater? Well, you definitely don't need to iron or press them. I know some of you cowboys do that with your jeans. You don't have to do it with the dark denim, but I do really like that darker denim because for me, it's a palette. Again, you want to go with a neutral color. Be careful, and you can wear red jeans. You can wear a wide variety of colored jeans, distressed jeans with a sweater. It is going to be more fashion forward. And if you're going to be pulling off that look, then what are you watching this video for? You go out there and own it. Now, what to wear over the sweater with jean? That combination. We've talked about the shoes a little bit earlier, but let's talk about sports jackets. I've mentioned this a few times. I think that if it's a really lightweight sweater with dark denim, you can easily dress it up with a sports jacket, maybe even a suit jacket, a blazer jacket. You can bring in, maybe choose, instead of going with that sweat, pullover sweater, you could go with a sweater jacket, but you can also keep it casual. Let's just say that, hey, this is a more casual look. You're wearing the boots with it. You can wear a leather jacket. You can wear a denim jacket. Just make sure you're not going with the same colored denim. I don't know. Maybe I need to backtrack on that. What do you guys think? Can you wear a denim jacket, sweater, and jeans, even if they're close, or you pull off the whole Canadian tuxedo thing? Nothing against my Canadian friends, but let me know in the comments what you guys think of that combination. I think you got to be careful with this, but there are ways to pull it off. But seriously, when it comes to jackets, so many casual options out there. You can bring in a suede jacket, you can bring in a field jacket, you can bring in safari jackets, blousing jackets, tons of options if you look. Now, what about wearing a coat over the jean and jacket combination? Well, I think in this case, you really want to look at what type of coat you're trying to pull off. I like this combination when you leverage the sweater as the insulation and you've got a lightweight jacket. I just like the look of that combination, especially something with a different type of texture. The sweaters in general are going to have that really soft texture. So I think that a coat with more of a sheen or a tougher surface, maybe a gabardine or maybe just a straight up synthetic material, versus if you go pea coats. I love pea coats, but mixed in with that heavyweight sweater, all of a sudden you've got this soft texture with the soft texture. I don't like it as much. I like to have a little bit of contrast. All right, so now let's talk about the jeans that you want to wear with your jacket. The vast majority of jeans out there are going to be on the casual side. So if you're going to wear these with a jacket, you really want to go for those jeans that are going to be a bit dressier, not formal, no such thing as formal jeans, but those that are over there on that dressier side. So these are going to be free from distress. They're in general going to be darker colors. So when it comes to distressed denim, light colored denim, when it comes to stone washes, classic blue denim, there are instances that you can pull this off. If you're a rock star, if you've got the confidence, if you own the company, if you love the look, then yeah, go for it. But for the vast majority of us mere mortals, I would recommend going with a dark denim. Maybe you can go even with black denim, and there are options out there, charcoal gray, something really, really dark colored. That is going to work best with sports jackets, with blazers, with suit jackets. I also like it when the denim's a bit heavier in weave. So if you can find something raw, something in indigo, that really, really looks good. And people can clearly tell that this is denim, but, mixed in with that dark color with, again, maybe a dark sports jacket or a sports jacket with a little bit of pop and color, I think you can pull off this combination. Now, when it comes to the fit, I'm going to go for a tapered cut. I'm going to go for a slim cut and maybe a straight cut. Avoid skinny, avoid really loose denim. And we're starting to see, again, things go towards the looser side. Be careful of that, especially if you're going with a jacket that's a bit more fitted. And this is something I didn't hit on the jackets too much, but if you've got a well well-fitted jacket. You want to go with well-fitted denim. They should match up in about that type of fit. So if you've got really close-fitted denim with a loose jacket, that combination there is just not going to work. It's going to be off. So make sure that the fit on that jacket, if you like your jacket's a little bit looser, it's okay to go with a straight fit pair of denim. So wearing a suit jacket with jeans, sports jacket with jeans, blazer jacket with jeans. Understand that it's like a chain. It falls down to its weakest link. And unfortunately, jeans are never going to be formal, at least probably in my lifetime. But this is just something that you have to accept the fact that if it calls for a suit, wearing a pair of jeans with a suit jacket is not a suit. A suit is a jacket and trousers made from the same material. And when most people mean it, they're not talking about anything in denim. They're talking about something in a worsted wool. So the denim is always going to bring down the level of formality. That being said, if it's your event, if it's an event that is casual. And this is really where this look shines. When everyone else is wearing something casual, maybe they're just all wearing button-down shirts, they're wearing a sweater, a long sleeve shirt, or whatever it may be. You walk in with that sports jacket, with that polo shirt, with the denim, with those great looking boots. That is a combination I absolutely love. And it fits so many situations in our dress down world, but understand that it needs to be the right situation. Don't violate the dress code, especially if somebody's trying to put on a party. They're expecting, everyone to wear. Now, if you're down south and it's accepted, and again, this is where is a fine line and you can go in and let me know in the comments below. Do you guys, what are situations you can wear a sports jacket in jeans? I want to hear from you guys. And really quick, let's talk about all the different fabric types that I think you can wear with a dark blue denim. And again, I'm getting specific there about the denim, but here are just tons. I mean, tweeds. You've got it in green. You've got brown. Harris tweed, if you're familiar. I mean, this is just some of the higher quality you're going to find out there. Sharkskin. This is actually a suit type, but it's got a slight texture to it, and it comes in a variety of colors. Seersucker. You're going to see this out there. Houndstooth, beautiful. Flannels, a wide variety of flannels. You will see these sometimes in bold patterns, but oftentimes just in a gray or a dark gray. And I think, again, this can be pulled off with denim. Corduroy. This is going to have, you're going to see 7 wale, 11 wale, but corduroy, very casual, made from cotton. Camel hair, bird's eye, window pane. You're even going to see some Madras jackets out there. And this is a really bright color, very lightweight, great for the summer. Herringbone. From a distance, a lot of times, especially if it doesn't have a contrast to it, it's going to look solid, but you get up close, you're going to see the pattern, but you will also see herringbone in a contrasting color. And this definitely has a strong pattern to it. You're going to see linens, you're going to see fresco, flannels, hopsack out there. Hopsack looks solid from a distance. You get up close, it's going to have a very heavy weave to it, very breathable, perfect for the summer. And I also want to point out, if you choose not to wear a shirt with your blazer and jeans and you go shirtless, no, I'm not saying ever do that, but I am saying you can wear a polo. You can wear sweaters. Sweaters are such a great option, and they really bring down the casualness of the whole look. So I get it, not everyone wants to wear a collared shirt. Sweaters but I like the combination, especially if you can mold, go with the collared shirt with a V-neck sweater with a nice, sports jacket. Then you've got that nice denim. Layered looks are just absolutely beautiful. Don't you think, for this time of the year? Now, at this point, I want to address a mystery that if you've gotten into denim at all, you've probably seen it out there and you're wondering, what the heck is going on here? What I'm talking about is how and why did the Japanese become the denim kings of the world? Seriously, when you're looking at high-end denim that cost over $1,000, yes, there are pairs that cost that much and more. You're going to find most of those manufacturers are over in Japan. So what's the story here? Well, it turns out after World War II, when the American GIs were occupying the country, the Japanese fell in love with denim. In the 1970s in the United States, the denim industry was going through some tough times, especially the mills, as they were looking to get new machinery that was faster and could produce cheaper fabrics, cheaper denim. Now, the Japanese, through luck or maybe foresight, swooped right in and bought the old machinery. These shuttle looms had to be repaired, they had to be modernized, but in a short amount of time, the Japanese had taken the American looms and they were producing some of the most beautiful, high-quality denim on the market. In fact, the Japanese town of Kojima has probably become the denim capital of the world when it comes to quality. Now, for the first 20 to 30 years, this was a very niche industry. The world and the majority of people had moved towards fast fashion. But by the 1990s, whenever the sneaker and the denim industry started taking off in the United States, those in the know started taking notice of the quality of the fabrics coming out of Japan. And to this day, because they've got this unique machinery, they make some of the best fabrics on the market. Which, by the way, our sponsor, Gustin, actually does some limited runs with these fabrics. Now, what about body types? What about build? What is the best denim type for your build. Guys, I got you covered with this video right here. Denim and body types. I break it out. So yeah, go check it out. Solid video. If you're into denim, you want to find the right pair for you. Yeah, I talk about the different styles, the different fits, everything right here.